Achievements. They're what make life happy. But sometimes it doesn't always go well. One way could be, turns out that achievement wasn't worth anything, or it could be that you didn't really get the achievement. But that's what we're here to decide. What could be the number one worst thing that happens to you when you think you did a great achievement? Well, I'm deciding, I'm going to choose a top 5 and go from there. And then you guys could tell me what you think. So let's go ahead and start with number 5 on our list of achievements that you thought you got but didn't really happen. Number 5. Number 5 goes to beating the boss, but you don't get the loot. And by that I mean, let's say you're beating up a boss so you can get an epic loot that he could drop, and then you beat him, and then it turns out you just solely waste your time because he didn't drop anything except about 1 penny. Which, I mean, it could be a cool penny, like could have an awesome face on it. No. But you find an epic boss, you beat him, it takes you forever, and you're like, yes, I finally get this awesome gun that he can only drop, and then, bam, you kill him, and you're like, yeah! But then it turns out, he doesn't drop it. Why? Because of pure luck. Because it's a rare drop. I mean, rare drops, that's like the number one thing. You're like, yes, I gotta beat the guy, and then, bam, nothing! I just spent 5 hours trying to beat that game. And you're telling me I didn't get none of the loot? Alright, fine, I quit. I'm done. I quit. I'm done with that. Let's go. Number 4. Number 4 goes to beating the game. But there's a whole nother part to it. And I bet you're wondering, like, what do you mean? Like, what? What I mean is, like, the Ghouls and Ghosts. I think that's the name of it. An old-fashioned game. It's an amazing game. You finally beat the game. Hardest boss. But then it turns out you gotta beat the game again where all the enemies are, well, more powerful. And then you gotta beat it a second time so that you can actually win the game. I mean, come on, you're like, it's mostly like, good job, you beat the game. You did awesome. Yes, I've been waiting to beat this game for so long. Thank you, dude. Yeah, you did great, but now you gotta do it a second time. What? Yeah, I forgot to tell you that. You gotta beat the game a second time. Cause, well, you know, cause we're total meanies. Oh, come on. Man, dang it. Don't even tell me it's not like that when that happens to you. So, let's go ahead and go to, number 3 on this list. Number 3. Number 3 is kind of like number 4, except this one is to where you beat the game, and you're like, yeah, I got 100% all the way through. Turns out, you actually only beat 85% of it, because you didn't collect all the coins, you didn't finish all the mini-games, you didn't do anything like that. Yeah. That usually happens in games like Crash Bandicoot, Sonic Advance, a lot of games, to where you have to get all this extra stuff so that we can get fully 100%. So then you're like, yeah, I did it! And then they're like, no, you didn't! And I'm like, what? And then they're like, yeah, you didn't get 100% because you gotta collect all these coins, and you also gotta go back through, and you gotta kill all these other guys, and then also you gotta go to a circus, and then train an elephant how to do the polka, and then another thing is that you have to go teach a rhinoceros how to fly. So yeah. Alright, I'll be back. Number 2. Number 2 goes to something that usually happens in Borderlands, which, if you do know what I'm talking about, you probably understand me. If you don't, well then you probably don't understand me. I mean, it's simple logic. Let's put it into a scenario. You're walking down the game, hallway, and then all of a sudden this happens.
No way! Free
Hairspray! This is amazing! Are you serious? You gotta be level 35 to use it? Terrific. That happens to you, doesn't it? If it doesn't, you're just lucky. But this happens to me all the time. I find awesome loot, and then all of a sudden, boom, you gotta be level like 50, and I'm only level 10. So then you're like... So I get a little mad. And then I throw my TV out the window. I've used a lot of TVs. But this really does happen a lot. It's mostly an ethic in a game, to where you have to be a certain level to use certain loot. Well, why can't all levels just get along? We're all the same in our hearts. Let's Bob, let's go to number 1, okay? Okay? Thank you. Number 1. Gamers, have you ever had that feeling to where, yes, I beat this game 100%, all the loot, and then you're saving the game so that way you can go back in and play through it with all the epic loot you've gathered, and while it's saving, poof, Xbox turns off. Now, listen to me, this happens a lot. People have finally beaten the game, and then all of a sudden, bam, either your game freezes while it's saving, your Xbox turns off while it's saving, or you have a blackout while it's saving. Any time while it's saving and something wrong happens, it corrupts the data. Unless you have, unless you saved it like twice, then, I mean, you're lucky, you thought this through. But with me, this happened on, what game was it? Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. Yeah, Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. I was through half the game, I was ready to go in the next level, and then I start saving the game, and I had to get up for lunch, so I went to go get lunch, I started turning it off, and it was still saving, and then I go back to it, and it's deleted. All of it. All of it is deleted. I had to replay through the game again. But thankfully I had already half the game memorized, so I could already beat all of it, knowing what would happen. So yeah, that happens to so many people. And people that aren't gamers be like, don't worry, you just replay the game again. But listen, people, you do not know how hard it was. I had to play that game, I had to get a monkey, put him on a statue, and then take pictures of him posing on that statue. Do you know how hard that was? That was so hard. It was like... Okay, I'm sorry. I messed up, I got a little angry, I'm very sorry. That was my top 5. That always happens to me. So, if you have your own top 5 of worst thing that happened while you think you got a good achievement, go ahead and put it down in the comments. I'd love it. If you don't, go watch another video of mine or someone else's. I don't really care. I'm kind of pissed. I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad. Really mad. Really mad. Thank you for watching. If you want to like, favorite, subscribe, and if you subscribe, you become a quester with me, Toxic Quest, also known as Store Times, and have great adventures on your journey. And I'll tell you this once: sometimes when you eat a burrito, it could turn out to be a banana. But you don't know it. And those were your words of salvation. Thank you, and have a great time.